In this tutorial, we will show you the basic technique to knit with the circular needles. What is the difference between the normal knitting needles and the circular needle? The normal needles are separated, and the circular needles are the same, but they are joined with a cable. The tension of the fabric is done with the thickness of the needle. So you knit on the needle and the stitches later passes to the cable. We also have to know the length of the needles. In this case, those needles are 5.5 millimeters, and from the point of one needle to the point of the other needle we have 60 centimeters. You can get the length with other sizes. For example, you can use the 20 centimeters needles to make hats or things for babies, and the largers to make blankets or things for adults. Let's start step by step. What is the first that we have to do? We have to cast on the stitches on the needle. You have to choose one needle and cast on the stitches. We make a slip knot and cast on the stitches. Once we have all the stitches, the next step, and maybe the most important, is that you have to be careful to not twist the stitches. The best way to make it is to leave the knots in the center of the needles. We have to be careful in this part because if one stitch is twisted, then we have to start again. Now we have to take a stitch marker and mark the beginning of the row. We are working on a spiral, so we have to know where is the beginning or the end of each row. And to knit the first stitch, we have to take both tails to have a good join. And continue with the next 2 or 3 stitches using also the 2 tails. Using the circular needles, if you want to work the stockinette stitch, you only have to work the knit stitch. All the rows working the knit stitch, you get the stockinette stitch. On the normal needles you have to one row knit, one row purl, but working on circular needles you only have to work knit stitch. Once we are close to the marker, we know that we have finished one row. So if we remember, if we work the stockinette stitch, continue with knit stitch. As you can see here, we have the stockinette stitch because we worked all rows making knit stitch. If we want to make the garter stitch, remember, to work the garter stitch in the normal needles, we have to make all rows with knit stitch. In this case, we make one row with knit stitch and the next row with purl stitch. Another way to use the circular needles is using as if they were normal needles. They are useful when you have too many stitches and you don't have enough space on the normal needles.